Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dugout Podcast. My name is Adetola Oluwaseyi Roberts. I'm your host today. And in the studio with us today, I have Unwana Akpabio. Unwana, care to introduce yourself?
Uh, Hello, everyone. Thank you, Tola. I'm happy to be here. Like you said, my name is Unwana, aka Soccer Chatterbox.
Yeah, welcome to the fan reaction show. You are our second guest here, and hopefully, as time goes on, we get to have a lot of people on in the studio with us. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Spread the word. Get us to 500 subscribers before the year runs out, and let's see what we can do to get to 1,000 by the by the new year. Okay, straight
Yes.
to it. I'm guessing you watched the game, Chelsea Arsenal, right? I mean, you're an Arsenal
Yeah.
fan. So let me just from the top of your head, just let me get your take with the game.
Well, it's. I mean, it's a very. It was always going to be a tight game, in my opinion. I think both teams were going to spend 90% of the game just watching and guessing what each other would do, thinking of how to counter any moves, and then the rest of the remaining 10 try to win it, which is basically what happened today. You had the first half in which everybody's just second guessing each other, watching each other, shadowing each other, and then the first goal goes in, and then everything just breaks off. I thought on balance, I think it was a 50-50 game, so a draw looked. Seems like the right result, but I felt that Arsenal could have won it in the last moments. I think there was a chance to win it in the last moments. The offsides were annoying, but I think in the end it was a fair game in the end. Yeah, 1-1.
Well, going by what we watch in the on the pitch, I guess 1-1 was probably like a fair result to the game because I mean Arsenal hasn't been at their best in the past say what I say like
Yeah, it's
last
like
four
four
five
weeks
games.
now.
Yes, it's been actually it's been actually very hard to watch Arsenal play. Not as free flowing,
Yeah,
don't create as much chances. All of a sudden, we've turned into a cross and nod team. Most of our game
yeah.
plan goes wide, and then you try and put it in for a striker that is not there to put the ball in the back of the net. So, personally, what do you think is wrong with the team right now from the midfield and attack? The defense is solid. I will not lie, the defense is still solid, but the midfield and attack, what do you think needs to change?
I think it's an issue that yeah, we have to be right to be concerned that it's difficult to score. Um, I don't like to think that it's because Odegaard is not there or he hasn't been there for 7 weeks. I think there were options in and around the squad to cover for that. But I think what has happened is that Havertz, with Odegaard missing, Havertz has gone from being a 9 to being like a 10 and a half. So he has had to drop back to create chances, and then when it's time for the ball to be in the box, he's not in the box. And so it's weird. It's weird that now that we're now looking at it that it's an Odegaard problem, because at the end of the day, Arsenal is a team that has always been able to create chances from different areas. All of a sudden, one player is out, and then it's not a cross and not team, like you said. Um, I think this period that Odegaard was out shows that Arsenal needs an extra creative player on the pitch, maybe internally or externally. But it means that besides Odegaard, there is no other real creative player on the pitch, because if he's on the pitch, then Havertz doesn't need to drop back as much as he has been over the last few weeks. So I think that's the problem. I think that's the problem. The fact that Odegaard has not been there. Yes, Trossard has filled in, but not as well as we think he is, which means that he's definitely not the 10 that Arsenal needs at this point in time. We need someone else who can do the same job. Today it was quite clear how important Odegaard is with that assist. So I think that that creativity that Odegaard brings has been the one that has been missing over the last 5 weeks or so. Good.
Anyway, let's go back to the game. Let's not deviate too much from the game. So
Yeah.
it ended 1-1. Both teams have shared points. 2 points dropped, 1 point gain. Liverpool is still flying high
Yeah.
in the league. Now, looking at this Arsenal created some chances towards the end of the game. Some chances that you
Yeah.
expect, like if you had a clinical, goal-hungry striker, a typical centre forward. Some of those balls will have gone in. Merino had a chance that he completely missed the ball. Then
Yeah.
the last opportunity, the last kick of the game, where Trossard, all he needed to was just to guide the ball towards the net. He completely miscued it, taking it away from Havertz. You know
Yeah.
that centre forward position for Arsenal, it seems to be lacking some bite. Some I don't know about you, but I believe Arsenal need a striker that will put it upon himself. That put me 5 square plays into that 18-yard box, 6-yard box. I'm going to get at the end of one and score. That kind of striker that say that's what I want to do in this game.
Yeah, I could not agree more with you. It is games like this that bring this argument back of, oh, we needed Arsenal should have gotten a striker, we should have gotten a striker, we should have gotten a striker. Look, I think Havertz is a great option to have on the pitch. I think last season when we had that great run, when Arsenal had that great run towards the end of the season and he was scoring, it was fantastic. But it really, for me, just covered up something that was just missing. Because if you had like a Haaland in the box in this sort of games, we would have won it. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Havertz is fantastic, but if you had it is in this kind of games when it is really tight that you need somebody to just be in the box causing problems and then maybe finding himself in a position to score. Frankly speaking, I've said this in a few conversations in the past. If you go back 2 seasons ago, the summer in which Shaka left, it was an opportunity for Arsenal to really um, re- adjust yourself to be more creative. I didn't think that buying Havertz was the answer to the question. I didn't think that buying Havertz was the answer to the question. I felt that if we were going to move anybody back into the space that was vacated by Shaka, it should have been Trossard. Trossard, for me, should have been told to be played centrally, as so you have two number eights on the pitch with him
Odegaard.
and Odegaard on the pitch, because the relationship that you see with on the right side with Odegaard and Ben White and Saka, you can also recreate that on the left with Martinelli and Zinchenko or Timber or whoever you bring in there. But I think that if we had done that, the focus should have been making Arsenal a more creative team, and then telling Jesus or whoever you bring in as a striker to focus on being in the box. That is what Man City have done. That is what Liverpool have done. That is what even Chelsea are doing. You just get a guy and tell him your job is to be in the box so that we now give you the ball to score. Today, we saw Havertz doing the work of a 10, of an 8. He was even coming back to mark. And then when the time is time for the ball to get into the box, you don't see Havertz because he's some yards away or because he's not there. There's no energy to fight. He has spent all the energy running up and down. So where's the energy to fight the centre backs that you need to be? So much to the point that even Merino has to come in, and these guys are not centre forwards. Centre forwards, if you put an Osimhen inside there, it's a goal. There's no all these balls. Nobody's discussing it. He's going to find a way to stick it in, and we can't keep having this conversation with Arsenal year in year out. We can't just keep having. Look at the moment Saka was off, Gabriel Jesus comes in, and frankly speaking, I'm tired of that guy. I'm just tired. I really am. I don't see him as a nine. I don't see him as a nine. I don't know what instructions he's getting, but if he spends more time in the box, he'd be more useful. But
So
he doesn't.
the thing is,
He
that a lot
doesn't.
of a lot of Arsenal fans believe that what's his name, Zinchenko and Gabriel Jesus, they were signings for the particular time that we needed them for, and they came up with that transition period. But these are players that Arsenal should have actually offloaded. This should have actually been
Yeah,
included.
yeah. I think at the end of the day, the profile of the squad that Ateta was looking for changed. I think it. I think also. I think it also changes a lot. I think it also changes a lot the profile of the squad. One time he wants a dynamic fullback. Another time he wants a fullback that inverts. Uh, Now he's looking for tall players, strong players. I think the profile of the team changes too many times has changed too many times under Arteta, and I think it's still going to change again. Which is why
Ah,
you now have Zichenko and Jesus now becoming looking like they
surplus
don't belong.
requirements. No, the thing,
Yeah, so
I think Ateta needs to be. I mean, we understand he's a relatively young coach. This is fifth year, but he needs to be a bit more daring. He needs to now start taking decisions and then taking the blame whatever happens. He's still a bit cautious in some games. Like this particular game, I felt he should have changed it up a lot sooner. Because if you notice when he made those changes, when he brought in Trossard, um
it was just after we considered, yeah, and
yes, when
Merino.
Trossard and Mourinho, you could realize that the game changed. We're getting forward a lot faster. Like one of my beef with Declan Rice right now is that he seems to not advance the ball anymore. I don't know. He seems to not advance the ball anymore.
For me, Declan Rice is not an eight.
No, he's not an
It's
eight. No,
not.
nobody. He's not an eight.
Is a six. Is a six who I believe his job is just to dominate the midfield. The way Partey does it, but with a bit more energy.
Energy,
And
yes.
then when we have the ball, he should be in a position to just carry it forward
But he
and
does. He's
then
not
lay
that.
it up.
He's not doing that as much as he did last season, and
That's
even when he was in West Ham.
I think Declan Rice for me has played way too many games, and I think Ateta for me is asking a lot from him. And so if you are seeing Declan Rice playing Carling Cup matches, sorry, EFL Cup matches, Champions League, League Cup matches, there's going to get to a point where he cannot carry the ball and run anymore because he's tired.
Yes, so
That's what I think.
that's why I say I think I need to be able to take some risk. Like there's some games don't play Mourinho.
Yeah,
You can't
you
play
know,
every the same for Saka because Saka seems to have played so many games. No, sometimes
but
let them come up the bench. Sometimes
that is
switch it
that
up.
is Arteta's. That is what I've always seen as Arteta's problem for like 2 years. There are certain positions where you need competition. Since Pepe left, there has been zero competition for the Saka
On
position.
the right wing, yes.
Zero, zero. They will deceive us and tell us that Reece Nelson is the guy. But when Reece Nelson is playing, Reece Nelson plays as a left winger.
Yeah, but the thing is that well, I do understand. Like Saka is one of our best players. Like you can't say there's this competition for Salah in the right wing in Liverpool. Saka
Yeah,
Saka
yeah,
at
but
Arsenal right
you're
now.
not going to.
He has a status like he's one of our top two players. You can't drop him. He
Yeah,
needs to play. But what I'm saying
yeah,
there's some games that you don't play him or you don't start him. Let him just
yes.
have that rest. Not too
Yeah, that's
much
what
games. Yeah.
it's the same thing I'm
But
saying.
the thing is that
Look at
then who plays in that position? Because Jesus came in today. I mean, the one thing I just like about Jesus is this: he will give you movement up front. He will give you some intricate movements, here and there. He will do that. But it's the end product with Jesus that's the problem right now. But he will always
that
give you
is
movement.
this that comes back to the manager and whoever handles the recruitment. You have to answer that question with the recruitment. You look at Man City. If Savino is not on the pitch, there's somebody else. The EFL Cup game that they lost to Tottenham, there was a chance where they were struggling. They were looking for a goal to get back into the game, and they left Haaland on the bench. The manager said, "I chose to leave him on the bench, regardless of whatever was happening on the pitch." You look at Chelsea now; they can actually afford to stop. They didn't register Cole Palmer for the what they call for the Conference League. They didn't register him
They didn't even need him.
because they have other.
They didn't
They
need
didn't.
him.
They don't need him. They don't need him because they've done the recruitment to be able to say, "Oh, for this position, we have options." So he doesn't have to be on the pitch. For a long time at Arsenal, certain positions haven't had that competition. The Odegaard's position.
For
Yes,
one.
Fabio Vieira was there, but if he wasn't playing. He wasn't playing, so I don't think he was considered proper competition. Saka as well. I don't think he was considered I don't think anyone was considered proper competition. That comes back to the manager, comes back to the recruitment, which is what they haven't done. And yet you would buy, yet in the same team you have surplus people for Partey's position.
No, man, we are overloaded in the midfield. Definitely, we are
And then
overloaded in the
defense is
midfield.
just packed. You even had an extra goalkeeper, and you come around, you're giving us speech about having competition in all the positions of the pitch, and yet Saka had zero competition. Odegaard had zero competition. The moment those guys went down to injury,
He
you
showed.
see how bad the squad was. You can see how bad the squad was. So I think that in terms of, even though we've done well, but I think that in this game is supposed this game that we're talking about just shows you um how bare we are, how bare Arsenal is in terms of quality off the bench. Yes, but you could see even when Jesus came off the bench for Saka, it wasn't the same after that.
Man,
It
wasn't the
wasn't
same.
the same after that.
I'm
So
just happy that the international break is coming up right now. So at least whatever injuries, knocks, or rest that anybody needs, they will have it, and maybe they can now rejuvenate. I think after that can come back, rethink, re-strategize, and let's see if we can put some runs. I mean, the upside is that we played all our difficult games right now, except for Manchester United. We played all the and in the games that we perceive to be difficult. We played Tottenham, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton. We played all those teams. So now we should be looking at a run of good games from against the lower mid-table teams. So at least we can put on some good run, like 5 games winning streak right now. Let's see what we have. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, you can say
yeah,
something. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. It's that's very correct. That's the thing that most people don't realize. I don't think anyone has played the level of
Competitive
opposition that
games, yeah.
Arsenal has in these opening weeks. It is what has helped Liverpool. No, without respect, without due respect to the teams that Liverpool has faced, and Chelsea as well. But I don't think they've been up to the caliber of the ones that Arsenal have had to face in the opening weeks. Face coming against Man U, coming against Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, Man City, all these so early in the season. Um, and then now we're just in November. Yeah, of course, it looks that way that Arsenal should go on a run. But I think the first thing that Arsenal needs to think about is how do we stop being a cross and not team?
First and foremost.
We need to stop being that. How do we stop being a team that has to wait for something to happen before a reaction is out? We didn't have to equalize for Arsenal to really pick it up again. Chelsea didn't have to. The way the goal came about, the movement in and around Neto was so casual. It
It
was
was
like they
so
didn't
he had
see the
too much
thing.
space.
So casual. I was stunned at this time that he had to even take that shot. It was literally like a training move. Like I give
Exactly.
you the ball, yeah,
Yeah,
shoot.
shoot.
Oh yeah, shoot. So it was so casual. And we didn't need to get, and you could see at the moment after that goal went until the end of the game, I don't think Neto could
Nothing.
even
It
do
was
much.
all
That's
it
to
was
tell
all
you that.
checked.
Yeah, so if we had held on for another 5 minutes, I don't think Chelsea would have equalized. But you see, Arsenal has to progress from this. I don't know how Arteta wants to do it, but Arsenal has to progress from this. We have to get back to being the team that went through all those games unbeaten
Last season,
towards the end of
yes.
last season. It's still the same guys, it's still the same personnel, it's still the same quality. If
Maybe
they can find that, then we'll be fine. But if they don't, then even if we came up against a bottom half team, we would still be here talking about striker and Saka and cross and notch.
well, maybe another trip to Dubai will make you will do the magic again. Who knows?
They should go. They
Anyway,
should go. Abeg.
all right. Thank you very much for joining us on the show today, Jerry.
Yeah,
Hopefully,
very well.
we get to see you subsequent time in the future, and you get some other guys
I
and guests. Next time,
thank you so much
I'll
for
definitely try and find someone or get someone from the opposing side to get an opposing view,
having.
because a lot of Chelsea fans believe that they should have won the game. I mean, rightly so. Like when the game ends in a stalemate, every both teams think they should have won it. That's how it always is anyway. But
True, true,
thank you so
true.
much for joining us, and remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. If you want to be a part of this program, you can just hit me up, send me a message, reply, drop a comment. Let's see what we can do. Just hit me up. I'll share you the link on the next recording, and you can join us. Unwana, it's been a great show. It's been a good time. Hopefully, next time we're on this podcast together, it's going to be after an Arsenal win.
Yeah. Thank you very much for having me, Tola. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.